Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Michael Taylor with Crossing Aces Media, and today I'm going to be reviewing last year's Louder in Life that we went to with a new lineup coming up next week. We are very excited to be able to go, and I just want to talk about last year's experience and kind of what to expect this year before the lineup comes out. So, last year we unfortunately did not get to go to all 3 days. We were only able to go to Sundays, and Sundays, luckily enough, was really well. We got the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Alice in Chains, Incubus, Jelly Roll, Papa Roach, The Warning, along with a few other bands that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I just kind of wanted to go over general guidelines for those who haven't been there and just kind of what to expect throughout the day. So essentially, we got there. I think we ended up getting there 2 hours before the gates opened, and we ordered our tickets online. We ordered them a little bit late, so we weren't able to get them mailed to us, the wrist straps that you end up getting. So we had to go to the box office, and when we got there, it was relatively easy to find. Took us about 10 minutes once we ended up parking. Get the wrist straps, go back to the car, sit there for maybe an hour, just wait till the gates open. And by the time we got in line, we probably walked up an hour before the gates opened, and the line was already super long. A lot of people already there who've been there for 3 or 4 days, who've already been camping, and they're excited to see the rest of the show. And this was our first music festival too, so we just didn't know what to expect. So we get in there and we start walking around, and we're trying to figure out exactly the whole setup of the map, and I'm going to show you a photo of it right now. So when you walk in, we ended up looking around for the merchandise stand first, because we ended up getting some t-shirts and just everything else, but once we found that, we went and we got food, and once we got food, we ended up going straight to the main stage because we were there just to see the Red Hot Chili Peppers. We wanted to go see them in Chicago earlier that year, but unfortunately we just weren't able to make it out. But we got very blessed that they were coming to Louder in Life in 2022, so we ended up making the trip to Louisville, and we showed up to the main stage probably, I think the gates opened at 11 or 12, and we got to our seats about an hour after it started. And we got just about as close to the front as you can get. Like, we were in the front corner where the aisles split. And when I show you the photos and videos, you can kind of see where we end up positioning, and we just bunkered down for like 12 hours in that spot, and we did not move. And honestly, if you have the conditioning to be able to stand there and do that all day, then you should be fine. If you need drinks, food, and whatnot, you might be best to staying in the back of the crowd. But being in the front was a crazy experience. Some of the videos I'm about to show you were from Papa Roach, and he's very crowd interactive, and he ended up running down the middle aisle where we were sitting and standing. Really cool for me. But after he performed, before he performed, we got Jelly Roll. And for those who have not seen Jelly Roll, for those who are not familiar with Jelly Roll, I was only familiar with Dead Man Walking beforehand. I'm just going to go in and admit it. I really was not knowledgeable on who Jelly Roll was. But once he took the stage, my God, that dude was meant to be a musician. Like, he connects with the audience in a way I've never seen any other musician do. Just the way everybody gravitated toward him, and you could just feel he wanted to be there and he wanted to perform. And if anything else, he made a fan out of me that night with songs I never heard. Smoking Section, Save Me. He pulled a little girl up on stage, which I thought was really awesome. By far one of my favorite performances I was not expecting. After that, Papa Roach went up, and then we got Incubus, and they were really good. But to me, the standout performance of the night had to be Alice in Chains. I am a huge Alice in Chains fan, always have been, and even though obviously it's not the original lineup, two of the four members weren't there, rest in peace, they put on just a great show. Like, the way their instruments came across and the vocals, like, it sounded like you were sitting in the studio with them, and just everybody was vibing out, everybody was having such a great time. By far, that was one of my favorite. Them, Papa Roach, and Jelly Roll were the three standout performances of the night. They played Down in a Hole, Rooster, No Excuses, Check My Brain. They didn't play Nutshell though, and I'm a little bit disappointed about that, but I understand, you know. Then we get to the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I really like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, as you can tell. I feel very disappointed because they were having such terrible technical issues from behind the scenes with the Louder Than Life crew. I don't know if it was them or Red Hot Chili Peppers audio techs. I don't know who was in charge of that, but it was kind of a mess. The tempo was off, and you can see Anthony up there getting visibly frustrated on the stage, having to walk off multiple times to talk to his crew, and then crouching behind the drummer trying to fix, you know, his headsets and whatnot. And I think somebody might have thrown a beer at him. I don't know if that rumor ever got confirmed, denied, what exactly happened with that, but he stormed off stage, came back, performed By the Way, which I love. By the Way, one of my favorite songs by them. Between that and Dose, those are my two favorite Red Hot Chili Pepper songs. But after he played, you know, just kind of threw down his headset and stormed off stage with Flea and stormed off stage with Flea and just left Chad up there standing by himself. And he just kind of walked out to the crowd looking kind of confused, threw a drumstick out there, thanked us for being there, and they cut their set. And they cut their set 20 minutes early. But I don't blame them for that. Anybody who was there could tell you that A few things were going on. The crowd surfing was super excessive, way more than it needed to be, but that's just a festival. I just assume that's how it's going to be this year, and it's going to be that way next year, and so on and so forth. But the other two reasons were a lot of people were getting drunk in that crowd and passing out, which is nothing new to music festivals, but the amount of people that were passing out was a little bit alarming. Almost every 30 seconds you would look over and security was throwing up X's down the middle aisle. By the way, I would love to give the security team of last year's Louder Than Life, I don't know who hired them, if it's the Louisville Fairgrounds or if it was Danny Wilmer Presents. I don't know who was in charge of hiring the security team, but you guys did a great job last year between the helping the people who needed it, passing out water that you didn't have to. It was for you guys only, and you guys still passed it out to people. Just interacting with the crowd, you guys catching the crowd surfers, top-notch job. If you guys go this year, make sure to give them a thank you. But between the people passing out drunk and the second thing, apparently there was a girl out there who was getting her, I don't know if it was true or not, but ended up getting like her shirt ripped off, or something was happening out in the crowd and definitely should not have been happening. So they ended up stopping the show for a minute, and Flea got on the microphone, asked everybody to be respectful, watch what we're doing. And it was just, the atmosphere, I feel like, really brought down what could have been a great show for him. And Anthony did an interview not too long after that on the Joe Rogan Experience, expressing that they have standards. You know, if things don't go their way, they will get frustrated and they will storm off. And you can't really blame them. It's, you know, they're musicians and they want nothing but the best. And if they're not performing up to what they think they can standard-wise, or their crowd isn't what they want it to be, they have every right to stop the show early, especially if it's getting to safety. All in all, though, if you're going this year, I highly recommend it. You're going to have a great time. Just be respectful of other people. You know, we're all going to be close together. It's a rock festival. We're going to be, you know, in some places it's going to be kind of spread out. Some you will be a little bit, nothing like a can of sardines, but you will, you know, rub a couple shoulders here or there. Just be there to have a good time and enjoy the people you're around. Don't get upset if somebody, you know, it's a little bit too close to you, or somebody spills a little bit of their drink. It happens. Just go and have a good time and make new friends and enjoy the music that you're going to see. And I'm going to show just a couple more clips that I haven't already shown throughout this video. But with the lineup coming this week, hopefully the bands I'm excited that I'm hoping we get are highly unlikely System of a Down. I would really like to see Korn, the Smashing Pumpkins. I know Slipknot did last year's on Saturday or Friday, and I would really like to see him again this year. But if not, A Day to Remember would be another one. My all-time favorite band would be A Day to Remember. But other than that, this is Michael Taylor, and I hope to see most of you out there at Louder Than Life this year at 23. Thank y'all.